evening, everyone. Thank you. I'm Ann Kenny. I'm the Carl A. Kroc University Librarian at Cornell. And it's a real pleasure to welcome all of you here this evening to the first of our library salons for this academic year. In the historical tradition of literary salons that were devoted to the life of the mind, we began this series of library salons last year to provide an opportunity for Cornell alumni and friends to gather and engage in intellectual discussions on research, tradition, current events, and big ideas as they relate to the Academy and its library. I'm especially pleased that this year's kickoff salon is being held here in New York City in this beautiful venue at the Union League Club. At about this time last year, we held our very first library salon, also in New York City. And even though it occurred on the same night as the vice presidential debates, wow, doesn't that seem a long time ago? That was just a year ago. Anyway, we had a great turnout that night, as we do tonight. I like to think it's because all of you love the library and have fond memories of spending many hours at the library during your academic careers. But I also suspect that the turnout tonight has as much to do with the topic and our speaker. In 2007, Cornell University Library acquired a significant archive on the history of hip-hop culture and rap music, collected by Johan Kugelber, tonight's speaker, which documented the emergence in the Bronx in the 1970s and early 1980s of this incredible phenomenon. The Cornell Hip Hop collection includes more than 1,000 sound recordings, the photographic archive of Bronx photographer and artist Joe Conzo Jr., a collection of more than 500 original party and club flyers, and more, much more, and it keeps growing. The Cornell Library in the Ithaca community is much enriched by the acquisition of this incredible collection, which guarantees that hip-hop's history will be preserved for current and future generations of students and scholars and community leaders alike. An editorial in the student newspaper after last fall's symposium in honor of the collection summed it up best. The hip-hop collection gained the library real street cred. You can't buy that kind of publicity. I want to thank Bill Gratz and Jay Bruno, Martha Coltrap, and Harvey Bagg for sponsoring this evening's salon. So where are you all? Bill, Jay, Martha, and Harvey have been true friends to Cornell and its library over the years, and we are so grateful for your long abiding support of us, and especially tonight. I have the second best job at Cornell because I get to lead one of the world's major research libraries. Cornell University Library reflects the university's distinctive mix of eminent scholarship and democratic ideals that are bound up with its being an Ivy League institution and New York State's land-grant university. By all measures, the library is a highly valued partner in teaching, research, and learning at that wonderful university on the Hill. The library offers cutting-edge programs, internationally sought expertise, and outstanding collections from rare books and manuscripts to a significant network of digital resources. Its impact reaches beyond campus boundaries with initiatives that extend the land grant mission to a global focus, including in Asia and Africa and South America. Over 100 years ago, Andrew Dixon White, co-founder of Cornell and its first president, wrote that the ideas of a great university and a great library are inextricably linked. With collections such as the Hip Hop Collection and with staff such as Catherine Reagan, we aim to keep it that way in the 21st century. It's my true pleasure now to cede the podium to Catherine Reagan, who will introduce our guest speaker tonight, Johan Kugelber. I mentioned I had the second best job at the university. Catherine's got the best job. She is the Ernest L. Stern Curator of Rare Books and Manuscripts. She's in charge of building Cornell's primary collection of rare books, manuscripts, and other historical artifacts. She's a native of San Francisco with an undergraduate degree in humanities from the University of California at Berkeley. She left California to attend graduate school at Columbia University's Rare Book program in 1990, and she's been a resident of New York ever since. She arrived at Cornell in 1996 after working as a librarian at the Pierpont Morgan here in New York City. Catherine is the former chair of the American Library Association's Rare Book and Manuscripts section, and she teaches the history of the book for Cornell's Department of English. She's also a member of the faculty of the famed Rare Book School, which is held at the University of Virginia. Catherine especially loves bringing students and scholars together with the diverse and fascinating array of collections housed in the Kroc Library's vault, and teaching students how to understand and appreciate the history of books. Johan nailed it when he called Catherine a visionary, because she recognized the value of such a rare and important collection as the Hip Hop Collection. And after tonight, I think you will all agree that rare and special collections are being created today just as much as they were in centuries past. We have Catherine to thank for ensuring that Cornell remains at the forefront of special collections institutions. So, Catherine.
Thanks, everyone. And thanks, Anne. I want to welcome you as well tonight. It's really exciting to see so many of you here. And I'm excited to share with you a new collection that recently arrived at Cornell and to introduce you to the person who made it possible, our speaker tonight. Most major university libraries, like Cornell's, contain departments of rare books, manuscripts, archives, and the collections foundational for original research and student learning. Not just for campuses they primarily serve, but for members of the public and a global community of students and scholars. These collections of unique and rare artifacts shape our understanding of the past and provide us with inspiration and connections to our shared histories. For much of the 20th century, university rare book and archival collections busily gathered important books and manuscripts on what were then considered to be the most important people and the transformational events in Western history. Medieval illuminated manuscripts, 500-year-old printed books, pamphlets of the Protestant Reformation, the English Civil War, the French Revolution, and first editions of famous authors like Dante and Shakespeare, and William Wordsworth and Charles Dickens. Or the papers of pivotal historical figures like Abraham Lincoln, whose papers we're about to display and opening a new exhibition in the library in about 2 weeks. Andrew Dixon White, as Anne just described, was Cornell's president and co-founder, but he also understood this well. His collection of books and manuscripts came to Cornell in 1891, and he believed that these collections should serve as the foundation for student learning and new scholarship. And those books and collections are still serving that function today. He believed that students learn better from original documents rather from, for example, textbooks or facsimiles or other modern versions, such as today's digital surrogates.